I think should be special.
Yeah.
Huh.
When you want to get off the darkest ground,
Ass
gravity
Darn, I
pulls
missed
you
it.
straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should
Yeah, the
grow
fog.
feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down.
Japan.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky. Where am
We're back.
What happened to the beer donors?
Got the pit.
Back. They were the most
Rock
important
and
ones.
or roll.
Yes, hello, Pupstraction.
Well, howdy, y'all, and welcome back. We are here and we're live for yet another movie night. We're glad to be here with everybody.
Hooty hoo.
And we
Late
do
as
have
we might
a
be.
we do have a lovely group of people with us here for our panel. So first we'll get to our
Coconuts.
we'll get to our introductions, and let's start with Chris Kelling, shall we?
Oh, jeez. Just because I'm making a jerk of myself here.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I'm at work, so again, if things pick up and get busy, I may have to drop out, but I'll give you guys fair warning on that. And other than that, all I have to say is THACO rules, and I can't stand the all the modifiers in 3.5, 4, 5 that it takes to figure out what your power gaming stat is to hit something. I mean, that
Right.
was easy enough.
What about D20 though?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my avatar's tiny.
Yes.
It
Very.
is.
Yes.
It's just like that. Ah,
Well, we're glad you're here with us tonight, Chris.
Dog.
Good to see you. And we also have a croca squirrel with us.
Hello, it's everybody's favorite chimera. Because the crocodile was just not it, you know?
No one's afraid of a crocodile, right?
Yeah, but
I don't
there are
know.
teeth in that maw, and they've been known to take
Yeah.
they have been known to take hands off the odd creations.
Yeah.
Well, see, but the crocodile squirrel, that's a truly fearsome.
Yeah,
Because,
it's a
you
tree
know,
climbing squirrel.
Right?
It's a tree.
exactly.
It's a tree. I'm a tree climber with a big with a big gaping maw that will take off heads. Especially if your last name is Hovind or Ham.
Well, we're glad you're here with us
What about
tonight.
comfort?
We also have with us tonight Brooke. Hello, Brooke.
Hey, I'm
Hey,
Brooke.
my fellow brony.
Yeah, but haven't used that moniker in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm Brooke, and
Well-
I already have a drink call. You said actually 2 on you, Jess. You said 1. All these nice people. I am on the panel. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you know.
2, you said we're excited for this. Again, have you seen the lineup?
Yeah, I know. I gotta give some kind of false hope, though. Otherwise, I'd never get you guys to come back. So,
Well, Bar, all you had to do was ask.
well, that's true.
I mean, in all honesty, I mean, we are all here for the same thing. Utter
That's
train
true.
wrecks.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
Well, that and
Because you
some of
just
us
can't
may
look
be
away.
a trifle masochistic.
Yeah, there you
speak
go.
for yourself.
Just a wee bit.
A trifle? No.
Okay, so
lot
I
for
was
me.
like underselling it. Hush you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Brooke, as well. We also have Tornado.
Hello, everyone. Tornado in a Junkyard here. Back with, well, let's just say, fun times for all. And don't think I don't see you there, you stupid mosquito.
Yeah, it's getting to be bug season again. All the bugs are coming
When
We're
out.
is it
we're not
not
there yet.
bug
Give it another week. Give it
season?
another 2 weeks.
Duck
Yeah, we
season.
started
Bug
getting all
season.
the started getting all
Okay.
the stink bugs again.
As long as it's
I
not squirrel
have-
season, I'm good. Don't hunt my minions.
Yeah.
I have
I'll
Duck
have to be
season,
upset.
fire!
massive
So,
only
your
girl
wife
amounts.
Squirrel
season.
Girl?
We always have bugs here.
Yeah.
I
can
have
imagine.
so
Well,
many bug bites. It's not even
well,
funny.
Hey,
See,
Mom,
it's still-
I mean,
it's Florida.
I'm
What
sorry.
did you expect?
yeah, I'm going to say, in Florida, you give the cockroaches in New York a run for their money. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah, no.
New York cockroaches
I
say,
went-
"Oh, you're from Florida. I'm out of here."
Yeah.
You know what, Chris? I went to boot camp in Florida before NTC Orlando was shut down. We found as we were coming out of those barracks, we found a cockroach the size of my head. Like,
Jeez.
aha. Hey, you get it. No, you do it, man.
I just let it be. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh no, we were
exactly.
required.
He
We were
wants
required
to
to
move
run
in.
our barracks bug free.
Oh,
It had to
Hold
die.
on. Point of order. I don't actually know how big your head is. For all I know, you're a
that's
very
true.
tiny person.
I'm not actually. I'm 5'11" and more than 250 pounds.
Oh,
And
well, okay
by
then.
the way, I'm actually, funnily enough, I'm actually hell on headsets.
Well,
headset
still, that's a
hate me.
big cockroach if it was the size of your noggin.
Yeah, it's a big ass thing. Holy
so,
shit!
so is that when you're allowed to use deadly force with the firearms, or did you have to find some other unique method to
I think
destroy
what we
it?
wound up using was a shovel.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, if you used a firearm, you'd have to shout, "It's coming straight for us!" first. So,
oh dear.
Nah,
Well,
nah,
We're glad that you're here with us as well. And
that particular cockroach could have taken out the local rats. Tell you.
let's
Probably
go.
had been.
Let's go over to our next panelist. We have Mom NATO here with us tonight.
I think I'm the last person anyway. So
Nope,
No,
we got
you're
one
not.
more.
Ooh,
One more.
ooh. Oh, Kate. Sorry.
Yes.
It's been a rough day. Rough,
only
rough
Kate.
day.
I feel loved.
I love you.
Aw, we
It's
we still
only
love
I'm
you.
Kate.
sorry, Kate. Like I said, it's been a rough day.
Yeah.
Yeah. 87 degrees out, and we're waiting for 2 hours for a ride. It was not a pleasant wait.
No, I can imagine.
And I'm
quit
on medication for my high blood pressure that says I'm not supposed to be in direct sunlight.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah. Speaking of, I didn't take this today.
Mom NATO,
Yes,
Mom
sweetheart.
NATO, I got a bone to pick with you. Quit hogging all the warm weather.
Hey,
You can have it all, Brooke.
believe
This
me,
way.
I
We'll
wouldn't
take care of
mind.
it over here on the left coast.
I would not mind if it was in like the mid 70s.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
it's been hitting that here in Southern California.
Right, but it's
you're
not
you're in
normally.
for it there, Kate. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's not normally this warm in Florida this
Mhm.
early. Generally, we're in the mid 70s by now.
Yeah,
Right.
it was
Uh,
about that. It was about that here today, but when it hit nighttime, it dropped from like mid 70s to like 48, with wind, and that was
we're-
miserable to walk 4 miles in.
Yeah, we're supposed to be 68 tonight.
I actually prefer the 80s to the 70s. The music was better.
Oh, I agree.
You're not
I
wrong.
agree.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
You didn't
Yeah.
take, you didn't
What's
date
wrong with
yourself like that, right?
I mean,
Do
I'll
the
say
hustle.
this,
The
and I
worst
will,
part
and I
of it
don't
is I
care.
actually got that joke.
And I don't care if I take flack for this, but We Built This City by Starship is one of the best 80 hits out
It was
there.
really
I
a
don't
good one.
understand the
Make it great
hatred
better.
for that song.
Me
I really
neither.
don't. I like it. I
Me
like it
too.
a
I
lot.
love it.
I agree.
Oh,
Starship
I
did
still like
better.
the off the wall.
Yeah.
I still like the off the wall flavor of Buck 3, even though that they were a little bit
Yeah.
off the wall. So
Well-
Wasn't that a Michael Jackson? Wasn't that a Michael Jackson album?
The wall?
Off the Wall.
I thought that was Weird Al.
No. Off the Wall
No.
was Michael Jackson album. Came out before Thriller.
Well,
yeah, I
let's.
think it's something like that. Yeah, I think I remember that.
Well, let's get to our last introduction here. We have Bionic Dance with us.
Hi, everybody. Today was one of those days where, like, I started out, I don't wanna, but I got started anyway and then worked more than 8 hours, like something like 11 hours of animation. So, no, it was great. I got so much done. It's awesome. Like, seriously, if I worked that long and didn't feel like it was a slog, obviously I love what I do.
Mhm.
So, you know, there's that. And also, I want to thank you for getting rid of that ear-scorching bleep at the beginning of the intro.
I think I only got rid of it for you guys. It still does it for the actual stream.
Oh, well, either way, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, greatly appreciated.
I still got to rework the intro. I still haven't gotten to it. I always mean to every week, and then something else comes up, and I get squirreled quite often. So
Ooh. I want to know which squirrels are bugging you. I have to have a conversation with them.
well, all of them. That's the problem.
Oh,
One right after the other.
do they have names? I need to track them down now.
I think they're just thing 1 and thing 2.
Oh,
Hey, I'm
Yes.
sorry for bugging you, because I actually have a shirt that says Thing 2 on it, so...
Well,
and ironically enough, I'm wearing it.
there you go. Well, everybody, we are glad to have you here. Thank you all for coming back. And what do you guys think? Should we bring up our wheel?
Yeah, all right.
do we have to?
We
put Kate
do.
somewhere.
Sure, why not?
No, I think we do. I think we have to.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's
does that
see
mean I have to kick?
Anyway.
Does that mean I have to kick the gerbil into action?
There you go. Yep.
Tornado.
You
There
know, it'd
we
be kind of
go.
cool
So-
is if it wasn't always a circle, if it actually was like a geometric shape that had sides equal to the number of videos.
Yeah,
And it
I
roll like a dice.
I would
Well,
need
it might
a-
just be
Do that
the weed
way.
talking.
yeah, I would need a much
Anyway.
different app for that. We're not ready yet. Hold on. Okay, so anyway, we do have our wheel up here, and we have trees, we have magnets, we have alien, we have moon, and we have sticks. It's funny that sticks and trees happen to be next to each other, but okay.
Hmm.
So bad
that's
we
all
don't have
you.
stones. We need
Yeah.
stones on them.
Yep. Well, I don't have any
still
stones
want
for
a
the
license-
wheel
I
this
still
week.
want to buy a
Figure out
license from Rush that when we have tree videos that we can play that song.
I
Well,
mean,
Huh.
if you
What
if
song?
you really want stones, I can go find a Roger video for you.
No, I know.
Hey,
Because
you
Roger
want
just
to
needs to be
know?
Roger.
Bob Dylan, everybody must get stoned.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, well, with that, I won't spoil it for y'all and tell you what the names of the actual videos are. So we'll just we'll spin the
eventually.
wheel and see what we got.
All right, Wheel of Misfortune, turn, turn, turn. Show us the stupid that we should burn. Spin it.
Leg on my boop, sorry.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Trees.
It's trees.
What? It's right on the line.
It's trees.
It's-
All right.
It doesn't put up the text that says these trees.
I
Which
don't
is
think
good.
that this would count if it was not Wheel of Fortune. Price is Right.
Yeah. It's like off to the left of the line. So
we could respin it
But
and
it's
try and get
pointing to the
sticks.
right of the line.
we'll go with trees.
Oh, all right.
All right.
But I want to
You're
know,
talking when
like,
it's
magnets.
dark,
How do they work?
Like magnets.
It's magic.
Maybe that's just a reference that's way too old. Does anyone remember Insane Clown Posse?
Yes.
I do, but never listened to them.
Neither did I, but I remember they had one song that everyone made a big deal of where they said, like, fucking magnets, how do they work? And it was this big, like, controversy because, wow, that's stupid. You know, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
All right, let me get the video pulled up here. So it's, I'm gonna have to change that brown color. It's bothering me. It sticks out like a sore thumb amongst the other
That
colors.
sticks, I get you.
Yeah. but
yeah, yeah, I was just. Oh wow.
I can't with you guys.
No,
What?
no, you can't.
All right.
What do we do?
So we got our video. Let me make it so you guys can see it.
Oh no. You could just show it to. Oh dear.
And this is definitely not one of mine. I'd recognize that.
Okay then, we are okay. I can already see where this is going.
You know, in a weird way, it reminds me of that Coke Starlight stuff.
Yeah.
She and the moon. Okay.
What do you want to bet this
hey.
is like Wicca or something?
Probably.
My last name is not Christensen.
There you go. All
Ah,
right.
Drink.
Oh, stop
Yes.
not yet.
It's
It's like betting before the flop.
it is on the title screen and up.
Oh dear. All
Magical
right.
living jet.
Are you
That
guys
is it.
ready to get started?
If we have to.
Indeed.
She said easy magical.
Indeed
living
we
tips.
And the magical ones are what I'm calling drink gone.
All right. Well, let's see what we got
Which one's
here.
gonna be Tina? Which one's going to be Luna?
Here we go,
It's
guys.
a Dungeons and Dragons game, and even then, those things aren't easy. Magic is not easy.
Mm-mm.
Trees are portals of
Oh God,
magic.
she's quiet.
Gosh.
And if you really want to live a magical life, then start with the trees. They are
Oh, God.
ubiquitous, and their beautiful, steady presence reminds us of the magic inherent in our everyday lives.
Drink.
I think I had squirrel first on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with squirrel. Go ahead.
Trees are whilst alive, trees are effectively inanimate objects. I don't think we're actually going to get proper magic out of this. Besides which, you're going to, generally speaking, if you want to build your wand or whatever, what the fuck ever, you're going to use wood for most of that, aren't you? Never mind the amount of damage that you're going to do to said trees by burning them during rituals and so on and so on and so forth. Citation fucking needed.
Yeah, pretty much. Bionic Dance.
Well, okay, number one, maybe it's just the sci-fi fantasy geek in me, but I get forest magic, right? But I mean, I don't think it's real, of course, but I get it conceptually. Plus, I had a 5-year relationship with a Wiccan, so, you know, I mean, the best part of that relationship was when she did the naked rituals, but still. But also, like, number two, she said it's like the trees remind us of the magic we have in our everyday lives. Now, she's taken that one for granted. I mean, I don't know what form that magic would take in my everyday life, but it sure looks like a life that doesn't have a scrap of magic in it. So I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same question. What would that magic even look like?
No, I mean everything. The way I've always defined magic is it actually suspends the laws of the universe for a brief moment, where like maybe cause won't follow or effect won't actually follow from the thing that caused it. You know, like there's no reason why chanting Latin backwards should summon a demon, but it fucking does. You know, that kind of thing. It's like that's the way I've always defined magic, but I see nothing like that. Effect has always followed from cause, from what I've seen. So
Yeah, if you chant a fireball spell, shit blows up.
Yeah, well, if you say Biggie Small's name 3 times in a mirror, then he appears. That type of thing.
Or if you call yourself on the phone, some guy called Joker will come through and turn you into a zombie. Yeah. I'm sorry.
calls coming from inside the house.
Yeah, sorry.
It does not fly anymore. Like that, that hasn't
Anyway.
aged well. Without landlines, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I apologize for that reference, by the way. I don't think as many of you are into the Shin Megami Tensei and or Persona series as I might be.
Is that tentacle hentai or?
No, it's actually not. It's
okay.
actually that's part of the baseline story for Persona 2. Both
Okay, well,
are.
hands up if you were scarred for life by Legend of the Overfiend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Just
right.
saying.
Well, we also have Tornado with the hand up.
I'm just gonna say this once, girl. Trees are chemical phenomena, as in they are biological objects. They produce oxygen by synthesizing carbon dioxide and water to get glucose or fructose, whatever they use.
It's actually glucose.
Yeah, glucose in order to get their food. It's called photosynthesis, and they produce oxygen as a waste product.
There you go.
This is not magic. It's easily understood science. Get your head out of your ass.
Well, where would the fertilizer come from?
Rain fertilizer.
Oh my goodness.
I'm guessing we're going
That'll
to see
be
quite a bit of
working.
fertilizer in this video, so
Yeah.
and we're only about 20 seconds in. How long is this video, by the way?
Not super long, just like 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, that'll take us
All right.
about as many hours.
We'll see you guys. We'll see everyone in an hour and a half.
Yeah. So we also have Brooke with the hand up.
Yeah, pretty much it's been asked and answered, and it's pretty much. I got one more that Squirrel didn't say, so I have a citation fucking needed for it. The portal for the trees. I would love to see it.
Yeah. I don't think we'll get that far, but let's see what else she's got to say here.
I can hold my breath for it, right?
Yeah, sure. Just not too long.
Well, at least we're dealing with biology. There's bound to be some science.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on it.
You have a lot of faith there.
Yeah.
Either that or a lot of
seem to
like
be
wise
missing RJ,
assery.
so-
Yeah, I don't know.
We seem to be
Okay.
missing RJ, so I guess Kate is
Yeah.
filling in for RJ tonight.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
All right, here we go, guys.
So it's pretty simple to communicate with trees, and most of us at some point in our life have had some sort of magical, natural communication with trees.
Drink.
The key to trees.
Break.
Bionic dance.
Okay, now granted, I hate it calling drink too early because she might explain what form that communication might take, but honestly, I cannot think of a way a tree and I communicated at all. The most I can come up with is like trees sometimes drip sap on you and it's grody. Maybe that's a tree's way of saying get the fuck off my lawn, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
be
Tornado.
Trees say, "Stop picking my fruits. I need those."
My
But
goodness.
seriously, if there's a way for trees to communicate with humans, then you're barking up the
Not barking.
wrong tree. Because as far as we know, there is no way for trees to communicate with humans.
Right. Brooke.
Yeah. I think
Maybe they
someone.
can communicate with birds.
I don't know, but I think someone's seen Wizard of Oz a little one too many times. Either that or Babes in Toyland. Either one. Take your pick.
We represent the Lollipop Guild.
Yeah.
Or maybe too much Harry Potter or fantastic beasts because maybe she thinks it's a bow truckle?
Maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
We also had a squirrel with the hand up.
Okay. For a tree to communicate with us effectively, one of two things has to happen. Either the tree needs to grow a fucking brain, which I find very unlikely. Evolutionary, there's no genes at this point in any of these trees that would go even remotely in that direction. Or we as humans have to be able to look to be able to detect the chemical signals they send all their buddies. To say, okay, we got things that are eating us. We should probably be aware of that. And we don't have the genes for that either. So where the fuck are you going with this? We're not going to communicate with that tree. That tree is incapable of doing so, and we sure as hell don't have the ability to sniff that out. I don't even know what the receptors for that would look like, or how you would install them in a human. You know, if you want to go the transhumanism route. So again, where is this coming from?
Right.
We have no evidence, just your claim, and you have not, and nothing you said prior supports the claim of magic, communication, or any other such thing with a Goram tree. The best thing, the thing that we generally do with that is either sit under them so we have shade, or burn them. So, where are you going with this?
Yeah.
You have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Impress me.
I don't think that'll happen. Don't count on it, at least.
Well, that's her challenge. She has to impress me now.
Well, Bionic
come
Dance.
Up with super. She has to come up with all of the super evidence here.
Yeah.
Well, trees are a bad choice. If you want to communicate with nature, with plant life, you should try to hear it through the grapevine.
Oh,
there
my
you go.
Goodness.
Yeah. I went there.
And I will say, I think I know. I do know how you communicate with trees. You gotta, inject yourself with plant DNA, and then you become like Brushroot from Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
No.
Or we just all,
DNA
we
is
are
actually
Groot.
going to be rejected.
Well, actually, if you want to communicate with trees, you got to use an iPhone, to talk to the Apple.
Right. Oh, that was bad.
Sorry, I'm probably full of these tonight.
That was
so
okay.
Fair warning.
Kate, we all love you dearly, but that was super tortured.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I sort of trailed off embarrassed at the end.
You
And
gotta
then,
be like me and not be embarrassed about your bad jokes.
Yeah.
Just go right for them head on.
Hey, sometimes that sort of fakey embarrassed sound is kind of cute and endearing. So
There you go. Well,
Okay, Sardian agrees with the rest of us. Ugh.
yeah. Well, we also had Squirrel. You had your hand up again.
Oh no, not again.
Okay. And then
press buttons.
gotcha, no problem. And then we had Chris
Wrong
Kelling with the
buttons.
hand up.
Yes. Hang on. I'll take it down in a second. Just wanted to read this brief bit of literature here. There is unrest in the forest. There is trouble with the trees. For the maples are maples want more sunlight, and the oaks just ignore their pleas. The trouble with the maples, they're quite convinced they're right. They say the oaks are just too lofty, and they grab up all the light. Okay, so there we go.
Well, that explains
what
it
you're
all.
saying, I actually haven't figured out. I figured out what her point is. She is the Lorax, and she speaks for the trees.
Yeah.
maybe this is just a really low budget sequel to Avatar.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, let's
That
see
or
what
she
else
feels
she's.
she just has to come out of her shell.
Yeah.
You have
Let's-
to have one first.
Let's see what else we got here. Besides bad puns.
Do we have to?
Yes.
All we have.
All right,
All that and bad
I will.
jokes.
I will simply surrender now.
Be taught is this. Listen. Listen to how the trees are choosing to communicate with you. So you can choose to talk to the tree, you can touch the tree, you can ask the tree questions.
Night channel.
Yes, Mom NATO?
Okay, First off, trees don't talk. So how can we listen for how they're communicating if they have no verbal capability?
Yeah. Squirrel.
Yeah, no, she's actually she's literally trying to evoke the supernatural here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we already know that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because the claim is typically, the claim and the evidence are the same damned thing. You're making assertions, you have no backup, and your moment of time in which you could back this up has now expired.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You listen to the way the trees are talking to you. You have to have a frame of reference first, and we don't even have the possibility of that at this juncture.
Yeah.
So, where is your evidence?
Yeah, I don't think we'll be getting any of that.
No, we won't. But I have to at least ask again,
Yeah.
woman. Citation fucking needed.
Yeah, pretty much. We also had Bionic Dance with the hand up.
Yeah. Well, so far we've only concentrated on the whole listen to the trees part, but then she starts describing what it is you can do. Now, I'm hoping she expands on it further, where she says once you've done those things, the trees will talk back. But so far, it sounds like all she's saying is here's how you can talk to the trees, not how the trees talk back. That's why I say I hope she expands on it. We just called drink too soon, I don't know, but that's my hope.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, yes, Mark. The tree should tell us where the bad lady touched them.
Maybe the trees only talk if you like grind them up into pulp and then make newspapers out of them.
Well, that would be a thing, but the tree isn't. But at that point, the tree isn't actually doing so of its own volition. She seems to think it has the intelligence to do such things of its own volition.
Well, okay,
really
then
doesn't.
maybe it it's tree essence enchanted the people that wrote the newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's earth, air, wind, and fire. Not what and
Rock,
wood is
paper,
not-
scissors, what?
Well, we also
Earth,
have
Wind, and Fire, great group.
we also have Chris Kelling with the hand up.
I'm just remembering a while back ago we had a couple interesting ladies talking about conversations with trees and how the one tree was angry at another tree, if I recall right.
Mm-hmm.
And she was calling, or the one tree was calling the other tree bad names.
Yes.
Ooh.
I mean, have we gotten to that far yet?
No,
I don't
not
think
quite.
I don't think she's called any of the trees around her a Yahtzee yet, but we're probably going to get there.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I think I know what you said, but I heard Yahtzee and was
That's exactly
confused.
that is the word I used.
Oh! I was picturing
it's a way
the
to
dice
keep-
game. I was picturing the dice game. I gotcha.
No,
All right.
It's a way to
Standing
keep
word.
YouTube from getting angry at us.
Right.
It's kind of like the
Well,
Reich Wing.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
Riker wing. Yeah, Will Riker.
No,
Yeah.
that's not what I said, but all right.
Yeah.
Well, we also had Brooke with the hand up.
Yeah, she's talking about touching the trees. I want to know, did she get consent first?
Oh!
If not, bad touch, bad touch.
Yeah.
Jeremy Ware on the straw man. The bad lady touched you.
Exactly.
Also,
I-
Jinshu
I
in the
mean-
comment, Jinshu in the chat says, "Sure that tree essence isn't aphid pea."
Okay.
But I will say, bad touch probably wasn't the best use of this one because they aren't mammals doing it on the Discovery Channel. And
Right.
you better get that
Wait a
joke.
minute.
I do.
If like trees or spirits or gods or whatever the hell are woodpeckers like the minions of evil or something?
Yes.
I don't
Yes. And
Well, and beavers. Oh my gosh, those evil demons, beavers, cutting down all those trees, with their teeth. Oh my gosh, they're like vampires of the plant world. Eek.
Yeah.
I always
my
thought the
buddy
woodpeckers
Ronnie
were more
Toster
like
tends to like
Dennis.
to use them to drag messages across places.
Yeah.
He likes to really
I always thought that the woodpeckers were like Dennis. They're getting all the bugs out of the trees.
All right, fair enough. Fair
Right.
enough.
But Kate,
What?
beavers can't be like tree vampires because a vampire will usually only go after the same species, such as vampire humans bite other humans.
Well, it
So
depends
it
on
couldn't
which
be that.
vampire lore you're dealing with.
Agreed.
Yeah, true. But remember, vampires don't sparkle.
Well,
Apparently they do
agreed.
become
Agreed.
Batman,
Yeah.
but they do become Batman actually.
Don't get me started about. Okay, Brooke, don't get me started about Staphylococcus. We should probably move on now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh dear. Anyway, let us continue on our lovely video here. Here we go.
Questions, but the key is to listen to the tree and how it's
Good.
choosing to communicate with you personally, because it's going to vary for each person. And if you've read
Great.
our Easy Magical Living Guide, or if you've watched our video,
Yes, Brooke.
Sorry, it's different for everybody. So basically, you're just pulling this out of your ass and trying to use.
Well, let her
confirmation bias.
describe the ways first. I mean, we don't know.
Fine.
All right. Well, Squirrel, you had your hand up as well?
Yes, I did. She's actually described. She says the trees have a personal relationship with us. Does that not sound? Does that not sound like the Christian deity? That's
Yeah.
where she's going. That's where she just went there. Trees are like unto God. You have a personal relationship with these trees, and the trees do it differently. This prevents this means she doesn't have to describe a process.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that
Avoiding
the
the
trees
question.
are going to judge us when we die and send us like to whatever hell trees believe in. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Again, we're still looking at spam in the chat. Okay. Anyway, so you're associating traits normally associated with deities. But honestly, at some point, it doesn't matter which one. What the hell are you babbling about?
Well, she
Again,
might be thinking that this is just like trees are part of Gaia or whatever. It's like trees may not be the gods, but they may be part of some sort of pantheistic whole or deistic whole or something.
Well, here is still my problem. Okay, she's not going to give us a process because she says it's different for everybody. So there's no way to do the research. What she's giving us here is not falsifiable in any way, shape,
Well,
or form.
she might give like examples of the type of thing to expect, though. I mean, it's worth hearing her out until we can tell her that she's full
We're
of
going to wind
dookie.
up hearing her
Yeah.
out anyway.
Yeah.
But this is the warning. She is not going to give us a process by which this is even possible, and
Right.
therefore, all of her claims at this point are distinctly unscientific. You can't
Well, but
believe.
she's gonna
bad
give us a
traces.
way that she thinks this is possible, and that's what I
Right.
want to hear.
At that point, you're talking about speculation. Again, she says it's different for everybody.
Right.
Okay, isn't that what we're here to debunk?
Yeah. And it then becomes an acid
Part of the
answer.
debunking process. There's a process for debunking. There's also a process for forwarding a hypothesis and/or theory, and she is nowhere near there.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on and see what else she does have to say
Oh.
here.
I got a beef with that pun.
All right, here we go.
video on how
Have a
to live a
stake in
magical
your
life the
beef.
easy way, then you know that awareness or attention is one of the core tenets of easy magical living.
Okay,
so that's
drink.
the key to community.
Yes.
Tenets, not tenants. Tenets.
Yeah.
Sorry, that just gets under my skin. I'm done.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. You beat me to the buzzer, and I figured I'd wait to see if you were going to trigger on the same thing I had.
Right.
Alrighty then.
All right. Let us continue then.
Communicating with trees, the easy key. Listen. So you're touching the tree, you can talk to the tree, ask the tree questions, and then pay attention. Pay attention to how the tree is responding to you. Are you
Drink,
getting feeling?
Drink.
We had tornado first, or no, squirrel.
No, it
Squirrel.
was me.
It was squirrel. Go ahead.
Describe for me, very in single syllables, exactly how you expect us to do that.
I think she was just
And if the
about to
tree-
get
if
into
the-
it.
If the tree is answering you back, if you're talking to the tree and it answers you back, You have far worse problems than you think I do.
Yeah.
Moving on. I'm done.
Brooke.
Pretty much what Squirrel said. Like, you talk to the tree, you're hearing something, you might need to seek some professional help more
Yeah.
higher than my pay grade.
Well, maybe when you talk to the tree, the leaves rustle in some sort of arboreal Morse code.
Would that be a Russell Crowe?
Oh! The Russell
Well, I
Crowe.
said code, not crow, but sure, why not?
Sure,
Shots
close
were
enough.
fired.
Hey, you know what they call it when Batman stops going to church? Christian Bale.
Oh.
No.
Sorry. The joke had the same energy. I had to tell it.
It did. Oh dear. All right. Let's see here. All right.
Funny.
Here we go, guys.
Or thoughts or impressions or visions? Are you getting words in your mind or packets of words or even a full story? Because trees are excellent
You're
storytellers.
subconscious.
Was that a drink I heard?
Yeah,
Okay.
from Squirrel.
Yes, you did.
Squirrel.
Oh, if you were receiving visions from a tree, I don't know what you're on, but you need to get off it and warn the world.
Yeah.
Tell everyone where you got it so they know how to avoid it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It sounds like a good way to pass the time when you got nothing else to do, she said, holding a weed vape. But, you know.
Yeah, true.
I have
Brooke.
nicotine in my vape.
Yeah. Asked and answered with confirmation bias, as I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. Bionic Dance.
Yeah, it was just what Brooke said. Confirmation bias, wishful thinking, subconscious, whatever. That's all this is.
Yeah.
By the way, I didn't see the other one, the what's-her-face, like, what was her name? Luna or whatever, unless she's Luna and we didn't see the other one, but still.
Luna is best princess.
I was waiting for the second person and was
Twilight.
disappointed.
That is Twilight. Twilight earned Best Princess. Before that, it was Celestia. In fact, I named my dog after Celestia.
Nope.
Nightmare Moon.
Usagi is the best princess every time.
Leia.
What was that? What did you say, Squirrel?
Usagi. You can look that up. Ushgi.
Well, I know that means rabbit in Japanese, but which?
It's a Sailor Moon joke.
Yes,
Oh.
it is. I was wondering which of us was going to come up with that.
If it was going to be anyone, it was going to be Tornado.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us continue on then.
But that wasn't
Here's
the
a
end?
secret.
Nope.
Trees love communicating with us through the wind. It's one of their favorite ways to communicate with us. It's a very
That was like a pretty simultaneous drink call. We'll start with Bionic Dance because her name is topping the list with the hands.
Yeah. Okay. Trees talk to us through the wind, but trees don't cause wind. The branches flapping is the effects of the wind, not fanning the air to create wind. So even if there's some magical sort of like wind plus trees equals psychic vision thing, it's clearly the wind's doing, not the trees. Schmuck. Anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Tornado.
It gets even worse because if she's saying that trees communicate through the wind, that means the trees would have to cause the wind. But we know what causes the wind. It's pressure differentials between areas of high pressure and low pressure. And air currents happen to flow from areas of high pressure to areas of low pressure. So if you're saying the trees communicate through the wind, then you're basically saying the trees generate high and low pressure differentials, which is just wrong. Those pressure differentials are generated by the uneven heating of the Earth's surface via the sun.
Now, Tornado, I gotta ask you this. What are you gonna believe? All the scientists and all the facts that we have, or this crazy
Yeah.
Or your lying eyes.
Oh, God. Jinju also says Twilight, breaking wind?
Oh, we like that.
We also had Squirrel with the hand up.
Oh, I'm gonna go. Once again, I'm gonna go with citations fucking needed.
Yeah, pretty
For
much.
all of the reasons already stated.
Yeah.
Since those two beat me to it.
All right. Well, let us continue on then.
Easy way for them to communicate with us. So as you're connecting with the tree, you're asking him questions, you're talking to it. If you notice that the wind is picking up and it's blowing through the
Right.
leaves, then pay attention.
Let it ride.
Mom Nato, I think that was you.
Yeah. I guarantee you, if I talk to the tree and ask it a question, I'm going to be flapping my gums and waiting for farts to pop out because I ain't going to get nothing back from the tree.
Did you not get your treat?
Yeah,
You
pretty
bad
much.
shit.
I mean,
So-
I can talk to the tree till I'm blue in the face and it won't
So-
Makes
get a
a damn
response.
difference.
So, Mom Nato, what you're telling us is that if you talk to the trees, you ain't gonna get no satisfaction.
Oh,
Exactly.
And Bionic Dance, you had your hand up.
Yeah. Well, like, and maybe I'm wrong, but the sense I'm getting, the vibe / energy I'm getting from what she just said is that you're not going to have a dialogue with the trees. What you're going to get is something closer to a magic 8-ball sort of answer. It's like the sort of what is the Christian thing? Yes, no, or maybe. Or yes, no, or wait, or whatever. I think that's the kind of answer, like the level of answer you're going to get from the trees if you get anything.
It's a magic
Yeah.
8-ball.
That's what I'm saying.
it's actually more like we're going to pray. We're going to be godmothers and pray to fuck up his plan. And maybe it works, and maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't work, then obviously his plan was better.
Yeah. Well, let's continue on. She's got a little bit left here in this video.
To that as well, because it's highly likely that it's the tree communicating with you. So listen to the wind because there are messages on the wind for you. Please let me know in the comments
Right.
if you have a
Yeah.
Yeah, Squirrel.
So why not just talk to the wind instead? It seems like that would be slightly more productive.
Well, the answer, my friend, is blowing, in the wind. Sorry, that's what my hand was up
Blasting
for.
off
It's down.
and-
So again, we're not going to get
Oh,
that citation
dear.
because she was in the process of she started her outro, but holy crap, what's up with that?
Yeah. Well, let's see here.
Okay.
I think she's
You know
got.
what? I'll have more luck praying to Joe Pesci.
She still has
George-
about 30
Better
seconds
George
left, so
Carlin, 'cause
we
Because
could get
he's not
some of
alive to
this.
actually try anything.
We could get some of this evidence in the next 30 seconds. So let's take a look here.
No.
favorite tree, whether it's in your backyard or at a local park that you love spending time with, or if you have a favorite tree species, and let me know why you love spending time with those
Drink.
trees. I would love to hear.
Yes.
What if you don't have a favorite tree species? What if you don't have a park that you love spending time in? What if there's a park that's nearby and you go there sometimes, but you're just not super pumped about it? I mean, she's assuming that we have some sort of tree with which we already have a connection. Maybe she needs to start some sort of tree meetup site where you can sign up and make a profile, and all the trees can make a profile, and you can look up each other and make a connection with the tree online.
Oh, and
You could call it like Facebook.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
no. It's treater.
Oh,
That's
well,
what you gotta
okay,
call it,
fair enough.
treater.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Well, shit in one hand and speak to the tree with the other and see which one fills up first.
Oh, Crypto, I saw what you sent me, and why does Twilight Breaking Wind have to exist?
Yeah. We also had Brooke with the hand up.
Yes. If you go into a park and you start talking to the tree and you're listening to the breeze and someone asks you what you're doing and you tell them exactly that, you're talking to the trees and they're talking back, I have a
You're
feeling
gonna
that
wind
you're
up with a fucking loony bin. Is what you're gonna wind up with.
Yes.
Don't
yes.
beat me to the punchline, Squirrel. I'm getting ready to say you're gonna start hearing they're coming to take me away, haha.
And the men in their clean white coats.
Yep. Speaking for
I
doing
don't know. They
musical
don't
fun.
normally grow trees on a funny farm, but
There's Cernian that's actually picked up the Kate bug.
Uh-oh.
I do not
okay.
trust trees. They are naughty.
I have no idea what you just said to me, but fair enough.
No. In the chat, Cernian there. I do not
Oh.
trust trees. They are naughty.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know, but some of these trees are like well bred. They've got great roots.
Oh my goodness.
No!
What?
Can we just
Anyway.
leave this conversation alone?
Yeah, we're gonna move on. Let's see what else she's got. We're almost done here.
Yeah,
I
let's
get
Get off
stick
this
it out.
conversation in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I get the feeling that she's barking up the wrong limb.
Here we go.
It in the comments. And then also, as I mentioned previously, we do have an easy magical living guide that Luna and I have created as a gift for our
Buy
email
my
subscribers. The link to download it is in the video description. And then be sure to subscribe to our channel to receive our weekly easy magical living tips.
Buy
Thanks so much,
my
everyone.
shit.
I'll see you next time.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, I knew all that was left
Easy
was
magic.
outro.
I figured, but you know, you never know.
You
They
can
could
download
just
it
squeeze in
directly.
that science right at the end.
Oh, I get it. She is she, and Luna's the moon. I wonder if she put Luna on there that Luna's not a person, but Luna's literally the moon. Like her co-star is the
Yeah.
freaking moon. I wonder if that's it.
It might be.
No,
Maybe.
Luna is a small black cat with a bad attitude.
Right. Okay.
I thought she was a pony.
Oh my goodness.
No. We're going back to the Usagi-chan reference.
Oh yeah, in which case, let me just stroke the moon cat.
Yeah.
I
All
don't
right.
even want to know.
You can pet
Probably
Luna,
not.
it's great.
All right. Let's bring up our wheel again, shall we?
Yes.
All right. So now we've got sticks, magnets, alien, and moon.
Let's get to it
Alrighty.
then.
Alrighty,
Wheel
go
of
right ahead.
Out of the
Misfortune.
sisters,
Turn,
Luna is
turn.
still the best.
Show us the
princess, I'm
stupid
sorry.
that we should burn. Spin it. Do, 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 do,
Hey, do Moonies still exist? Is that a thing?
I'm pretty sure they do. You can't keep a good cult down.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
oh boy, oh boy,
I-
not again.
I never did get to
Alien.
Hare Krishnas in an airport. Anyway,
Can we get her respin?
It's Alien.
Alien.
well, at least it's not Alien 3.
Mm.
Alright.
Alien Resurrection was better than Alien 3, and Alien 2 is still best Alien.
Oh, absolutely. Although I still have this fan theory that it's basically a zombie movie in space.
You're not wrong.
Mm.
You aren't. You're not wrong. Except that the zombies are faster and slightly more intelligent.
Well, zombies these days are running instead of shambling, so
I mean, it's not like the Evil Dead or
Shamalama Ding Dong? Oh,
Yeah.
no, wait a minute. That's
different.
It's not like
Silly
that's
person.
yeah.
Oh god, this one's in a terrible format. Of course it is.
Is it
like
vertical
Night of the
video?
Living Dead.
It's worse.
Was it-
It's like square. It's like 1 by 1.
It's 3x4 and then low depth, right?
Yeah, it's terrible. Here we go. So this one is called, as you can tell, Alien Abduction Transfer Soul into Clone.
What? Drink.
Don't stop that.
Yeah. And it's in this lovely format we've got here, so...
What the?
Here's
Okay.
They made the thumbnail with Microsoft Paint.
Well,
I don't even need to say anything at this point.
it looks like they were trying to make this for an old school NTSC TV.
Right.
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah,
I feel like it's something I'd watch on like a projector back in grammar school.
right.
Mm.
Oh dear. All
I'm just
right.
gonna
Well,
say this of the whole video. Citation fucking needed.
yeah. I think there'll probably be quite a bit of that. But let's see what we got here. Maybe we'll get into some super science.
Oh, is this the alien one?
Uh-huh.
Sorry,
This is still a drinking show with a science with an anti-science problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Sorry,
right.
my computer decided to restart on me, so.
No worries. We're gonna get started with this one. So let's see what we got.
Okay.
Point, she is saying that what looked like a praying mantis showed her a room that was filled with yellow sparkling light and called it the place of translation.
Drink.
And she didn't.
Yes, Tornado.
A praying mantis showed a woman a womb with yellow sparkling light.
I think she said room, not womb.
She did. She said room.
Like a ROOM.
Yes.
It's
Well, okay.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Let's give her more than let's give her more than 15 words with which to hang herself. Please.
She'll do it still, but let's see here. I mean, maybe we'll
Raw
get to
therapy, huh?
maybe we'll get to the
Point. Video overall.
This one's a pretty lengthy one, about 9 minutes.
Oh no!
Oh, jolly.
We don't have time. We do not have time for this.
Well, let's get on with it then, shall we?
Well,
Sorry.
I just want to say real quick, I'll have whatever the hell she's having because that's some good stuff.
All right. Well, let's.
No, thanks. I think I'll just stick to my caffeine.
Let's
Let's move
continue on. Here we go.
Understand what that meant. Then, from the praying mantis at the room of translation with all the light, she is taken to another room, and it is sort of a gray, a sort of gray, not the big black goggles on. That's why it looks a little different, but a gray, who she understands as a scientist. And he explains, everything's telepathically and by demonstration.
Drink.
Yes, Squirrel.
First off, we have no evidence that telepathy is even a thing. How is she getting this from an old Mesopotamian carving or mural or whatever the hell this is? That stone tablet thing was supposed to be.
Yeah, we don't really have any explanation
I want
at this
to know
point.
this.
She's probably one of those people who looks at like pyramids in different countries and goes, aliens, or else no one could have come up with this really
Yeah.
sturdy design. Oh, yeah.
Probably.
All right, I'm done with this lady. Like completely. No.
All right. Well, Bionic Dance, you had your hand up.
Yeah, and I forgot what I was gonna say. It was something she had mentioned earlier that it had made me go, hey, wait a sec, but it wasn't worth a drink call, and now I've forgotten, so never mind.
Oh, that's okay. And Brooke?
Oh, no, I remember.
Yes.
She said that it was called the Room of Translation. Now, she did not specify whether that was in space or language. Now, with this whole telepathic communication, maybe that's what she meant. But, like a room of translation could mean something like teleportation.
She did say that she was sent to another room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what she meant. Anyway.
All right.
Also, if she was teleported, is she even still her? I want to know.
Okay,
that.
do not get started on that crap. I have some opinions.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
You
All
and I
right.
can have that conversation on Discord or wherever, anytime you want.
Fair enough.
Let's go to our next hand. I see Tornado has a hand up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call one massive citation fucking needed on this whole thing and just say asked
Right.
and answered.
All right. Well, let us continue on then.
Takes her and shows her a man who looks terrible. He's laid out on a slab, and the telepathy is, this is a man who is dying of heart disease, but it is vital that his entity, which she gets in her mind, entity is soul, remain in the same kind of container, his body, not diseased, for X time long. And this is all telepathic with images in her head. So
Drink.
we're
Yes, Tornado.
That is just a whole load of bullpucky, and you know it. One, there is no evidence that suggests that telepathy exists. Two,
I said that already.
asked and answered. But two, cloning a human is something that we don't have the knowledge of how to do. We've cloned a sheep, but I don't know if we can clone a human.
It's the same. It's the same process, the same procedure. The only difference is you're going to have to find some way, some way to deal with womb issues. Yeah,
And also the ethical
ethically,
problem.
however, it creates massive problems, and that's why human cloning is disallowed. And any research
Exactly.
into the topic is based entirely upon not just existing cell lines, but they are supposed to. But those lines are supposed to terminate before they get to 16. Before they get to 16 cells.
And also, moreover, she's talking about souls. There is, as far as I know, we don't know if a soul exists. In fact, there's no evidence that suggests such.
We'd like to think so, though.
Not to mention, we don't have even if we could prove a soul exists, we don't have the technology to transfer a soul from one body into a clone.
It's not like attaching some guy with jumper cables and then saying, all right, start him up.
Yeah, pretty much. We also had Bionic Dance with the hand up.
Now, the one that's getting to me here is she said he needs to be in like a compatible vessel, the same kind of vessel, implying that like they couldn't transplant his soul, his essence, whatever, into the body of one of these zeta reticulans. I'm assuming the Greys are usually zeta reticulans. Like he has to be in a human, like what the OS or the wetware is not compatible with a human soul or something, that it has to be somehow the soul is like tied to genetics or something. I like, what the frick? You know, I'm trying to understand the lore of the fictional world in which she lives.
Yeah.
Hey, at least it's not like Batman, who built a separate personality operating system in his own brain.
What, did he make like a biological partition or something?
No, he actually made himself a separate personality that comes online if the actual Bruce Wayne / Batman personality ever gets ruined. That's actually something that happens in the Batman comics.
Was it just a backup copy, or was it like a new person entirely?
It was its own separate entity, if you will, on the same frickin' brain.
Sure. So like a partition or a dual boot machine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, pretty much.
Squirrel, you had your hand up?
Okay, she's talking about images being passed telepathically. Well, yippee, great. I will grant you for a moment that telepathy is a thing. However, the narrative in question completely falls apart if you're basing it completely on images, because those are subject to the individual's interpretation of those images. Words have power primarily because words have discrete meanings, or at least most of them do, and we're hoping to get some of the old ones back, but that's beside the point. If he's speaking in words, then her narrative is okay. If she's working strictly from images, her interpretation of this thing is going to greatly affect what's going the rest of the narrative. Additionally, if they've transplanted a male memory block or male engram into a female body, you have any idea what kind of problems that's going to cause? For starters, his balance will be shot, completely shot. Some people may or may not have noticed, but women have a lower center of gravity than men. Their balance is going to be badly affected until they can actually get up and walk around. Have fun with that, by the way.
Well, it'd probably be the same as it'd probably be the same as like a newborn learning to use their limbs for the first time, or someone who's like lost a limb.
And the process that would have to happen. The entire process would have to happen from top to bottom.
Okay.
You were male. You are not anymore. Have fun. You're talking about anywhere between a year and 3 before you can walk properly.
Right. I don't think they're talking about transferring him from a male into a female. I think this is where she's getting to the point where they decide they have the technology to clone, but we interrupted.
We have the technology to rebuild you.
Yeah.
Which makes it even weirder, because if you're going to say
Why? My question, and this is kind of what I'm getting for what she's already said. Hold on. Okay. We have a woman here that is being given this information out of fucking nowhere because sparkly room and shit. We assume that she's the recent abductee. Why would we have any inclination to believe, because telepathy is actually required for communication, apparently, that she is not the target of this transfer?
Well, the thing is that, like, if I remember right at the beginning, this isn't even her own story. She heard it from a friend.
Yeah.
So, like, game of telephone, anybody?
we're still again, she made something specifically dealing in a female creature involved. I might be wrong, but that's where I'm at right now. I know how to be wrong. And I'll thank you if I'm proved wrong.
Well, what she said though is that, like, here's a guy, he's dying of heart disease, and then like the alien offering to create a clone or something. But it's not like she's getting the. It sounded like you're thinking that.
I'm not talking about this lady. I'm assuming a batch of third parties, any number of third parties for that matter. She's not telling the story. I know that.
Well, I'm assuming that what I got from it was that her friend had this experience where her friend sees this guy, and I don't know if her friend is male or female, but it sounded like female. I think she said she, sees some guy who's going to be cloned, and then his essence is going to be transferred into the clone. That's what I got out of this.
Yeah.
Then why are they telling this woman the story in the first place? No,
we haven't gotten that far.
The fact that you and I are having this argument at all, Kate, suggests that there's a serious problem with internal consistency in the narrative.
Well, okay, I think we're just disagreeing on what was said, but okay.
It's a plot hole. I can almost guarantee it.
All right, well, let's go over to Tornado. You had your hand up?
It gets even worse because if these aliens have the ability to transplant a soul into a cloned body, then why are they even doing that? Can't they just, get the guy a new fucking heart?
That'd be a place to start, because if he's dying from heart disease, a brand new heart would certainly be of much more value than a whole new freaking body.
Well, would it though? I mean, let's face it, our bodies have a lot of wear and tear. He'd be like all youthful and crap. But that's another question, is like, we always talk about clones like we just duplicate the person there, but a lot of clones have to be like grown from infancy. So how long does this guy have?
I don't know, probably not 20 plus years.
This is what I'm saying.
And of course, the Zeta Reticulans are supposed to be incredibly long-lived, which means a much longer maturity time.
Oh, no.
Especially those huge-ass brains.
Well, no, wait. I got the impression they said flat out that they're making a new human body for him because he has to be in a body of the same type.
The Zeta Reticulans wouldn't actually have...
like they wouldn't be compatible with him or something.
Well, here's the issue. We're not even sure if the guy on the slab is a Zeta Reticulan or a human.
Well, she said a guy. I got the impression human.
Okay. So that put the hole in the person experiencing this as a guy. But let's carry on and see if she doesn't clarify this.
Okay.
Maybe she'll do that.
Yeah, maybe. I doubt it, but maybe.
Hand down, Tornado.
Here we go, guys.
Right.
We're showing you what we're going to do to you.
Oh.
He's now dead. The gray takes its long fingers, scoops down into a chest. No blood, but scoops down, and she doesn't know how. Pulls up the heart.
Huh. Drink.
Extends the heart.
Yeah.
Drink. I'm gonna make I just want to comment here. We have now sorted out which one is which.
Yeah.
The person being spoken to is a woman.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, bro.
I think Bionic Dance had the hand up first.
Yeah. I mean, she says, okay, her friend doesn't know how this gray is like getting the heart out of the chest, but he clearly uses the gray. I'm assuming I don't fucking know. Puts his hand inside the human dude's chest, but you don't know how. I mean, I don't know if he's just putting his hand in and it's like he's become insubstantial, or if he's ripping the heart out like it's Temple of Doom or something.
Right.
Well,
You know? And she says there's
blood.
no blood, but the guy just died. Wouldn't there still be blood in the heart?
Yes,
Yeah.
lots of it.
I mean, unless they walked in and the guy was already dead, but it sounded like he wasn't. So
Yeah.
Unless they're furons. I'm not sure what a furon is there, Crypto.
pretty sure those were the aliens from Destroy All Humans.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
right. I remember that one now. I've
Yeah.
I've had to play both games.
I've played 2. I haven't played 1.
Well, I was set code for both of those games, so I had to actually play them both. It was actually another way, I think.
I've played the first one and recently bought the like remastered version, but I seem to remember
That's what it
playing
was.
briefly the second one and not liking it.
Well, I got the remastered one the same as you did, and I don't know what I have no idea what that costs. I didn't even look.
All right. Well, let's go over.
They sent me a code. They sent me a key to go get to grab a copy, and I did.
Kate, you still had your hand up?
Oh, do I? Whoops.
That's okay. Just want to make sure we were good, and then I'll go over to Brooke.
Kate pretty much beat me to it. I was going to say Kalima. Kalima.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Take my
and
punchlines.
Chris Kelling.
I was going a different direction. I was thinking more Five Nights at Freddy's because they had the scooping room,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And that just kind of sprung up at me then.
We really are nerding out today, aren't we?
All
No,
right.
we're geeking out. Nerding
Yeah.
out would be if this was science.
All right.
There's no science here.
No.
I have given up on any possibility of there being science. It's just time to mock this lady for being an idiot.
Well, I'm
pull
okay with it.
pull apart her story because, plot holes in fiction, and the red editing pen. I love my red editing pen.
All right. Well, let's continue on. Here we go, guys.
Heart, no bleeding, diseased, dead. But here he
Obviously, now he
is,
doesn't
and
have a
here's
heart.
one of the rows of tubes. Light coming from the top, light coming from below. All these bodies in these tubes. Of the light, she understands is somehow sustaining in perfection these bodies, these containers.
Now, these are human
Drink.
bodies, right?
Yeah,
Drink.
Oh, she's being interviewed.
Apparently.
God damn it.
Even
Why
worse.
is my hand button not working?
I don't know, but I have Bionic Dance with the hand up here, and then we'll go over.
I'm pretty sure Tornado called
Oh,
the
okay.
actual
Did he? I
film.
didn't
it
see
was
the actual
me.
hand, so I wasn't sure.
It was me.
Oh,
It
well,
was me. I'm
somebody.
trying- I've been-
I don't know.
My magic button is not working. Why
All
is
right,
my button not working?
All right. Well, let's go to Squirrel.
All right, well, no, that'll be fine. Somebody has been watching one too many sci-fi movies because every time you see a cloning tank or a medical tank, that's exactly what they look like. They look like a tube with a thing floating in it and lights from above and below. Okay, popular culture. This is a thing. Okay, because and the Greys again it was by the time the Greys came around, people were creating their own personal headcanons, going through where these people were from, where they could be, et cetera. But all of the aliens over the last, I don't even fucking know how long, 50 or 60 years, have all been based on this one body type with the oversized heads, the thin, frail bodies, and they've been gray, green, pink, and red. I've seen all 4 of these, not just in images, but in descriptions.
Don't think I've ever
all
seen the
based on
Pink
that alien
Red.
autopsy video that supposedly came out of Roswell in the 50s.
Okay, I got a question. Where's the plaid ones?
That's a good question. I've been looking for those. We think they're actually coming from the Pleiades. So everything she's had to say has been based on pop culture.
Right.
She's built a narrative out of pop culture over her lifetime.
So it's not even wrong.
No, it's not even wrong. I can already tell you where she got everything. Okay.
All right, well, let's...
The X-Files, the Roswell videos, any one of 1,000 sci-fi movies that have either sleep tanks, Event Horizon being one of those, the genetic tanks from Alien Resurrection, just you fucking name it.
The Matrix, back to tanks from Empire.
Yeah, keep going. We got
I could keep going. I don't wanna.
Lady,
All right.
show me something different.
Well, let's
You could give me a thing that I haven't already.
Move on.
Then we'll talk.
Well, wait, my hand's still up.
Yes, I know. That's what I meant. To the next person.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it wasn't super clear because she said it, and she might have meant the tank, might have meant the light, but the light was the last thing she mentioned. So I got the impression she was saying the light was somehow sustaining whatever the hell was in the tanks. It sounds like human embryos, but I'm not sure. You know, and I'm like, okay, is this a magical light? Because unless these whatever's in the tank are photosynthetic, how the hell is this light sustaining them? It sounds like a dream.
Yeah.
All it really is at this point is proof that the damn tank is still working.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
unless
all we
that's
got.
the
Again,
check
light
engine
above and
light.
below, it's every tank of that type where you can suspend a body, ever. They all look roughly the same. The pods in the Matrix looked a little bit different. I applauded them for that, but it's still the same freaking thing. Nothing has changed, and nothing will change in the next 40, 56 years. This might as well be Paranoia, the role-playing game, and the clone tanks there.
That was a fun RPG. I need to find someone to play it again.
You know what? You and I, we definitely need to talk at some point because we might actually be able to put together a group for that.
Right on.
All right. Well,
by the way, you're still stuck at right clearance.
Let's continue on here. Here we go.
This is a row of humans, not any ETs.
Got it.
And that all of this is happening rather fast. She sees gold, white light, about 3 feet, come from this part of the man. He's lying on a table, but she sees it come right out of here, which is so interesting that is the old Tibetan Bhutan, the idea that the soul departs the body right here.
So the opposite side from the pineal gland.
Yes, Bionic Dance had that one first, I believe.
Yeah, I find it interesting that this soul is glowing, right? Like it's some sort of magical doohickey thing. Like, why is it never just sort of like a gas that is the same, like that's lit the same as the room, the ambient light in the room? It's always glowing, you know. It the who was it? Was it Squirrel was saying that it's like every movie ever. You know, as the soul glows.
Yep.
Right.
You know.
I actually missed what she. Funnily enough, I missed what she said because Zoom crashed. But yeah, yeah.
Actually,
no, we're alien. Any kind of alien abduction thing, you can always track it back to a short list of movies or TV shows, and that's what I usually wind up doing. I wind up going through the pop culture of that particular moment, in which it was looked at, and look at the pop culture behind it, and you can point it all out.
Well, it's not difficult. I mean, hell, half those movies are on my shelf already.
I've got you and me both. You and me both, Kate.
So
Tell you now.
as the soul glows, is that alien soap opera? Or
No, actually, Soul Glow is a reference to Coming to America.
well, that I know, but as the soul goes would be, like as the sands of time, so are the days of our lives.
Okay, that was a long walk for a short drink of water.
Yes, I know.
Brooke, you had your hand up?
Yeah, pretty much kind of what Squirrel had said, that she's basically taking stuff from pop culture and other areas, and she flat out tells us this one as being of some Tibetan origin.
She could just as easily have been referencing Ghostbusters.
And why wouldn't you?
But out of the back of the head, how is that Ghostbusters? That's what I was meaning, where she flat out
Because
said,
Slimer rules. Because Slimer rules and Pete Venkman drools. That's it.
Okay.
All right. Well, let us continue on then.
Oh, man, I was still stalling.
It's right back here by about a half an inch or an inch. This is coming up through the Dragons of Eden, I suppose is what Carl Sagan would say about here. This base of the brain. But it isn't like it's coming from here. It's coming from here. Here's the spine.
Rick.
And Kundalini has...
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh.
We had Squirrel on that one.
Somebody explain to me how you got that from a face-forward image. How is it coming from back here? It could have been coming out of her ass. A really bad fart that got lit up.
No, she was seeing it come out of the guy, the dead guy.
Okay, fine. Let's go. Let's go with that. Again, her narrative, and again, she's still breaking her own narrative here. If you cannot see the place it's coming out of, you don't actually know. You don't actually know at this point. It could have been from. It could have originated from down inside his body cavity and traveled up. The guy is laying on his back, I would assume. If our data reticulate in question reached through the guy's chest to pull his heart out, well, guess what? He's lying on his back. You don't know where that came from. You can make all the claims you want to, but you're not going to get. But you're not getting there.
Right. Brooke, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I have a couple. One, Kundalini. That's one call there. That's a bunch of BS right there. And two, the whole, it's probably another pop culture thing. I don't know. Squirrel and Cake probably correct me more on this because I don't know that much on like the sci-fi pop culture there. But a lot of times when I see like any like, I don't know, I'm going to call it a Neuralink, only name I can think of, where it like basically connects your brain to a computer, it always seems to be either at the base of the skull or the base of the neck.
Well,
and this one appears to be a base of the neck one.
I will tell you this much: in the Shadowrun universe, it's usually at the temple.
Okay, I don't, like I said, you guys can correct me on that. I don't watch enough sci-fi probably to say that. So
yeah, well, I mean, you're not wrong. Generally speaking, that is where it goes. But in Shadowrun, it's the temple.
Okay, I was like, the only ones I've ever seen is that. I haven't seen Shadowrun, so I can't say on
Well,
it.
it's not something you see. It's an RPG, a tabletop RPG. They did make a few video games out of it, but they're all crap.
I noticed. In fact, there are 3 locations you can use for that, especially in Shadowrun and Cyberpunk RPGs both. At the temple, back behind the ear, back behind the ear next to the auditory nerve, and right at the base of the skull.
There's also in at least the Cyberpunk 2077 game, there's this sort of like jack at the base of the wrist where you pull this wire out and hook it into like external computers.
That's actually a cybernet connection for that's inside the skull. They run a wire down the arm.
Okay, well, regardless, it
amounts to the same thing, yeah. Actually, there's the Shadowrun too.
There's the Wachowski brothers that put it right at the base of the skull. So
not so much brothers anymore.
Well, siblings, I guess you could say.
Squirrel, you still had your hand up?
I had a thing, and now I've lost it. I got distracted because I'm a squirrel. All right, I'll
Makes
remember.
sense.
I will remember this. I will remember it in an hour or 6, and then I'll wish I had said something.
That would be the worst, wouldn't it, to be a squirrel with ADHD?
Yeah.
I am a squirrel with ADHD. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, you probably keep getting distracted by your own self.
Well,
No.
I thought,
I know,
I thought
right?
squirrel's word definition of ADHD is, so how can you be your
Well,
own
no,
definition?
I'm actually one of those weird combination types, and it's actually pretty severe. My attention span tends to be the grand total of about 3 minutes unless it's something I really want to be doing.
And it's also not the squirrels that are the epitome of ADHD. The squirrels are the epitome of what ADHD people notice and get distracted by.
Right.
That
Well,
too.
I mean, with the squirrels, you know how we have ADD, OS, attention deficit disorder. Ooh, squirrel.
Yeah.
Do squirrels have
Actually,
ADD, OH, attention deficit disorder? Ooh, human.
Okay. Actually, believe it or not, attention deficit disorder by itself is no longer a proper diagnosis. There is no such beast anymore. It's either attention. Attention. What was the other one? Anyway, there's two different versions of the beast. They were all it's primary hyperactive, primary attention, and then combined types. And combined types tend to have no input filters at all. I'm one of those.
I tend to be one of those who barely has an export filter, but that's different.
Yeah. Well, I find after I turned 45, I decided that the export filter had to fucking go. I was spending way too much time considering whether or not some idiot was going to be offended, and decided that I didn't give a fuck anymore.
Which is why contents may offend the easily offended.
All right.
Yes,
Well,
that is a thing on the front end of all of my live streams.
Let's continue on.
Oh, by the way, Mongo said goodnight.
Night,
alrighty.
Monday,
All right.
Night.
Onward we continue.
Yes.
To do with that animating energy of the human container that is related to the spine. And all 6 of these people who have seen
Right.
this, they see the...
Yes.
I remember what it was now. Okay, now that she started talking again, she's talking about the soul coming out of the back, out of the back of you. How is this identified? How do you know that this is the soul?
Well, it's pretty heavily implied by what the alien was saying.
The evidence. Okay, implication is not fact.
Heavily implied. Come on.
Just like the plural of anecdote is not evidence.
Oh, it gets
No,
even.
but I mean, the alien tried to describe what was going to happen. I mean, no, we're not guaranteed that what she was told was going to happen is what's happening. But at the moment, it seems like this is nitpicking.
You know what? I actually survive on nitpicking, especially when dealing with graphics glitches. But that's a different issue.
I'm just saying, I don't think that we should doubt too heavily that what's being said is what they thought was happening. I don't know.
Oh, squirrel. It's very simple. Okay. It was a bright, shiny white light.
One more question. I have one more question. Okay. One more, and then I'll go away, or at least for this purpose. Okay. If they've got the corpse, they've got the recipient in this tank over here. What the fuck is our witness doing? Why is she here at all?
I can answer that. At one point, this lady here, she said that, like, this is what the alien said to her friend, this is what we're going to do. I forget if it was 2 or 4 you. So I'm assuming that her friend is sick in some fashion. And the gray is telling her here, this is how we're going to help cure you.
This is how we do. Okay, fine. Nope, that narrative is at least internally consistent, unlike everything else that has gone on. Okay.
I have
good.
a comment to make.
Yes, Tornado.
If those of you who are paying attention will notice she said the word Kundalini.
You know, I have Sicilian relatives, and I've had Kundalini for dinner many times.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm just being silly.
Oh.
This woman used the word Kundalini in reference to the spirit science stuff.
Oh, gods.
Yeah,
She
the
actually said
makeup
the word
was fine.
Kundalini.
Actually, I think I saw in the chat here a little while ago, someone said that this is making spirit science look like consistent.
And that's bad.
Yeah.
When you can make Jordan look consistent, you have a problem.
Right.
You have far worse problems than you think I have. Trust me.
Alrighty, well, let us continue on then, shall we?
Gladly.
Alright, here we go. There we go.
The light leave this way. And it traveled across the room, entered one of the tubes of what looked like this man.
Yes.
All right. Now, maybe this is an essence and needs to be in the right kind of vessel sort of thing, but this light that comes out of the dude's spine, it knows which clone that to go to? Like, what is it? Is it attracted to the copy of its host or something? Or was the alien guiding it? Was this use the Force Luke kind of thing? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, we're unlikely to get that answer, but unless you
actually, I wouldn't be shocked if we did get it.
Yeah, your transmission medium is random and prone to scattering. So unless they have some method by which to initiate the transfer, this is a thing that did not be. And again, we're still working from any one of a number of possession movies going back, what, 100 years or more.
Well, you know, it turns out if she's right, you actually can literally sell your soul to the company store.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that song. Okay.
I unfortunately I do.
I was getting ready
Or
to say,
either that, or
you gotta load
either
60
that, or the
tons.
preacher that did not actually lie at any point in the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah, but just remember, you got to load those 16 tons because you got to tell St. Peter that you can't go.
Yep.
See, I know the song. I was getting ready to make my reference, and you cut me off.
Actually, the company store syndrome goes way back before it, and songs about it go way back before that song.
Yeah. I just know the Tennessee Ernie Ford one.
All right. Well, let us continue on here.
Who died, but 10 years younger. And somehow, this is the part that it's not filled in. Did he animate in the tube and come through the glass and onto the... All she knows is she saw that.
Yes.
He came through the glass. Did he bust through it? Did he somehow phase through it? I mean, how did he come? Was there a door? And if there was, what happened to all the liquid that it was floating around in this clone? What?
No internal consistency.
Well, maybe she explains later, but this is still sounded like somehow ghosty shit comes through but he's a body. I don't know.
Okay. The friend doesn't actually know what happened here, but somehow or another it was out of the tube. My thinking is that she skipped over her brain skipped over the bit where the bottom of the tube opened and he just fell the fuck out.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because if you're looking at the pop culture, that's where everybody that's where he should have come out, was from the bottom of the tube. He'd come out of the tank by using gravity.
Or maybe lift it out so that they don't have to drain the tube and make a big old mess or have a massive drainage system or something. I mean, hell, Luke came out of the Bacta tank upward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think he was actually the only one. Every other time I've seen, I've seen that particular bit. They drain the liquid. They go in. They grab the guy. They grab the victim out and pull it out. Resident Evil, for example, that's a thing where it happened.
I mean, okay, granted, not an alien abduction story in the classic sense, but Neo came out of that slime bath head first.
Well, let's go over to Kate.
Yeah, but not the direction.
Not Kate. Brooke, who has her hand up.
But not in the direction of up. They drained the fluid out first.
No, they didn't. He was seriously like covered in slime when he came out of that thing, and you could see it was still tubbed.
Oh no, you're right. He sat up. He sat up. The stuff drained out, and then he got drained out.
Moving on. Brooke, you had your hand up.
I mean, pretty much Squirrel pretty much got to it before I could about the whole. She says she didn't know how it happened, and then that raises the question of, well, okay, if she was standing there looking at it, how are we supposed to trust her? She's not even being on about what she might have seen, because, you know, if you're there, you should remember that. If you remember all these other little details, like exactly where the thing came out of the body, all this stuff, that should be one that you remember. Or you're just making it up.
Yeah, probably that.
Well, given everything else we've got, given everything else we've seen, yeah, probably making it up.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. It sounds so much more interesting living in the worlds that these people have created for themselves. I wish the world was this cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's continue on.
And then that man is standing on the floor, and she drew it, what she saw. So things are, as always in abductions, they're pieces. People don't have a constant literal, you know, like you could tell every second story. So there are gaps. But it always happens in abductions, and we can't always fill the gaps in. I don't know why.
Frank.
But that.
Yeah, Squirrel.
Citation fucking needed. Show me an alien abductee that we can actually prove was abducted. There is no these things. They tend to be wild, unintelligible things, with no physical evidence that anything occurred.
Show me an abductee who, I mean, maybe they do get stripped sometimes, but if they still have their clothes on, chances are good there's a cell phone in their pocket. Why has nobody taken video inside a spaceship?
Actually, the cell phone thing is reasonably recent. Most of the really good abduction stories come out of the 70s and 80s. A few from the 90s, but not so much in the era of cell phone.
Well, let's not forget, what was it, 47 when Roswell happened?
Something like that, yeah. World War II was over. I know that for a fact.
I could be wrong.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, because I'm curious on that now, because I thought it was 48, but...
I'm pretty sure that the year at the end was odd.
1947, yeah, you were right.
Okay,
Yeah.
you were right. Okay, my bad. I was like, yeah, I'm going off of memory, and I don't remember off the top of my head, but I knew it was the 40.
Also, one more thing. Do you know that UFO sighting, that UFOs are actually quite common?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
It's not what you're thinking, because UFO is unidentified flying object. Any object flying in the air that you can't identify is a UFO by definition.
Right.
I mean, colloquially, let's face it, a UFO is a flying fucking saucer, but you are correct in a pedantic sense.
Yeah.
Hey, technically correct is best kind of correct.
Yeah.
I was like, I could throw a baseball if someone didn't know what it was. That was a UFO.
Yeah, exactly right.
To them, not to me, because I knew what it was. I identified it. But yeah.
Well, Brooke, you had your hand up?
Yeah. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Something I don't remember.
You were going to say a thing, and maybe some stuff too. Speaking of,
yeah, it was whatever she was talking about. I forgot. What was she mentioning?
She was talking about memory gaps amongst abductees.
Oh yeah, I remember what I was gonna say. It was a really bad joke. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh God, I should. Kate, next time I decide to help him along, to help her along, please stop me.
Well, the joke of it is that she was talking about memory loss and abductees, and you couldn't remember.
Yeah, but no. My question was, if we get the memory loss and all of that, when are we going to get the probes? I want to hear about that.
Yeah.
Oh, anal probing. Yeah, no, let's go.
Yeah, the
on.
extraterrestrial
Squirrel.
colonoscopy.
It's one thing to say. The reason the 70s, the 80s, and early 90s had some of the best stories, think about the drugs that were common then.
Yeah.
Those same drugs exist now, okay? And
They
they
were
still
more-
get and they still get not only manufactured but taken. So we should still be getting them, and we don't. Why? Because you can't take video with a cell phone of your bad acid trip.
All right. Well, let us continue on here. We're still only less than halfway through, so.
Oh God,
we're going to run long, aren't we?
Can we do 1.5 speed?
No, but let's see if we can keep things, keep our drink calls succinct. Yes, please.
Okay.
Sentence. The next sentence was, he will die in his home in Wisconsin or Michigan. That's where he lived.
The aliens
He will
don't know?
be in this body in a new life in Australia.
Wait,
But there will not have.
Wait, what?
Yes,
What?
bionic dance.
Okay, so the original body clearly is going to die in a place where the aliens can't remember where they picked the guy up, and then they're going to deposit him in Australia, where I doubt his soul has an accent, right? And now this clone. What is it going to be like? Some sort of witness protection program where they give him a new ID and somehow the government believes he exists? The aliens give him a house. I mean, aren't the neighbors going to notice? Right? I mean, this guy's probably going to have no memory, or if he has a memory, he's going to have to keep it to himself, right? I mean, how the hell does this work? Do they give him a new identity with some sort of like knowledge transfer thing? I mean, how does this work?
It's anyone's guess.
I have questions, and I'm going to ask this one real quick. Why not just put him back? Why not just put the new body back? Where are you getting it from? You took him from over here in Wisconsin or Michigan. I'm going to assume Detroit for a moment. Why not just put the guy back in Detroit where he came from, and all of his family is going, "It's a miracle."
Yeah, it's easier for a doctor to
heart
say
disease went
spontaneous
away.
remission than it is to, yeah.
I mean, what's up? Why go to the trouble of sending him to Australia? Because he's got all the problems Kate says he's got, and then he's got to figure out how to survive.
Right.
In a foreign country that is way more authoritarian than it should be, honestly, when they could just put him back amongst his family. Would he not, if he has any of his prior memories, would he not want to get on a plane and go back to fucking Detroit?
And has the hospital not noticed that this patient is missing? Like it sounds like he died aboard whatever craft or temple or whatever the fuck she's in, you know? So it's like there's a hospital bed with a guy who's not there anymore, and then eventually the corpse will get dumped on the bed, and suddenly this guy who disappeared is not just there again, but dead. I mean, there's going to like talk about unsolved mysteries. If that show's still on, this is a segment and a half.
Right.
More like 5. What's up with this? It would make much more sense to put him back where he came from, and all of a sudden his heart starts working the way it's supposed to. Oh, wow, cool! And then he lives a little longer because his telomeres haven't been cut down.
Brooke, you had your hand up as well?
Yeah. Couple points. First off, how is he gonna die again in Michigan or Wisconsin or whatever the hell he's from if he's already dead and doesn't have a heart, you think that might raise a few red flags for you, especially if there was no blood and it came out clean and there was no other indication. That would raise some serious red flags.
Right.
And a point to what Kate said about the accent and that with the whole soul. The soul technically wouldn't need the accent because since our vocal cords are muscles, if that body had the muscle memory of how to do it, then my guess would be he wouldn't.
Except we're still dealing with Aussie accents as opposed to not Aussie accents. And
That's what I'm
Aussie
saying.
accents are really weird birds.
And that's what I was saying, you know, if the muscle memory of how to move your mouth and to pronounce it is there in the mouth and everything.
Which you
then he
probably
would
wouldn't be in
theoretically
a
have it.
clone. Because
Yeah,
the
we're
clone-
assuming the
clone
aliens
just
gave
wouldn't-
him that.
A clone would not have muscle memory. They wouldn't have shit. He'd have to learn how. He'd have to do the infant thing and learn how to walk all over again.
Okay, I guess
I mean, we're assuming the soul does or does not retain its previous life experience. I mean, I don't know.
True. I guess when I'm envisioning it, I'm envisioning as the bodies are like ours, but somehow they're programmable, and the aliens would program these muscle
Okay.
memory into it.
Let me say something here. Okay. Did you actually watch The Matrix, the original Matrix?
No.
I did.
Okay.
Recently.
I did. And what they'd have to do is they'd have to find a way to stimulate the muscle in order to build it back up to the level of tone that the original body had, or you get why do my eyes hurt? And the answer being, because you've never used them.
Well,
okay.
I'm just absolutely boggled by the idea of like, okay, we're in the Matrix and we're taking damage in the Matrix, which somehow affects our body outside the Matrix. Like we get shot and it starts killing our meat body.
Our
It
physical
makes
body.
no sense.
Yeah, I obviously, as you can tell, I don't write sci-fi. If it isn't obvious, I don't.
I write sci-fi.
Oh, I know you do, and that's
I'm
why I'm like-
animating sci-fi.
and I know you guys do.
Again, Kate, we should talk.
and that's probably why you guys just probably cringed at my idea of how that would work for the accent. So,
Well, yeah,
the
it doesn't
cringe.
make a lot of sense. I mean, I don't know, because now we've reduced whatever the hell essence they took out of the dead guy to just an animating force, which means that bodies require magic to function.
oh,
Right. Well,
I'm creating more problems than it's worth. I
Yeah.
guess.
Let's,
okay. So now what we have is a golem spell.
let's go over to Chris Kelling, who has his hand up.
And is muted.
Chris.
Hey,
Chris.
turn the mute
Chris.
off.
There we
There
go.
we go.
I know. I'm working off my phone. It takes me a minute to get the thing to respond to my touch. So,
Responding
which
to
is
your
also
touch.
why I don't have a regular girlfriend because they don't respond to my touch.
Oh!
Anyway, I brought my hand up because I had a pretty good joke and I can't remember what it is. Never mind.
All right. Well, let's continue on here and see what else we got.
Been the disconnect between what the entity had learned in that body to when they have some goal that they had for the learning of the soul in that body.
So let me see if I understand this. He'll go and
Yes, Chris.
Okay, I remembered it, and it becomes more relevant even with further description that she was talking about. I wanted to know if she ever met L. Ron Hubbard. And
That's
had
an
her
outstanding
E's
question.
Measured.
That is a beautiful question. I wish I'd asked it.
Yeah.
Wish we could. I don't know if she's
Yeah,
still
now
around.
that I'm thinking about it, Scientology, a devotee of Scientology would come up is where this is actually looking.
Oh, boy.
We also had Kate with the
they're-
hand up next.
And on top of that, they're reprogramming
Hold
the
on,
dude with
hold
some
on.
sort of goal.
Hold on, no talking over people.
Yeah, so it sounds like what she's saying is that the essence, quote unquote, gets memory wiped, or like the memories all stay in the body, and this is just a soul. But then what's the point of having a soul? I mean, like, if you don't retain who you were, I mean, sure, it's life after death, but at the same time, it kind of isn't in a way. You know what I mean? Like, sure, the thing that was me lives on, but the person that was me is dead.
Right. Squirrel, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I thought I'd let Kate finish first, and then get called on. So we're right, Kate. We're right back down to this is just the animating force part of this thing, which makes some sense in terms of actual brain chemistry, but really doesn't make the best narrative.
No.
It's a terrible narrative.
I mean, actually, it's actually a great narrative when it's fiction, but you know, it's a terrible narrative for real life. Because I mean, there have been stories, lots of stories about basically what she's talking about. It's usually not aliens, but still, you know, soul transfer into another body is a staple of like sci-fi fantasy stuff.
Right.
Yeah, what was it? Altered carbon. Bodies are just sleeves.
I have it figured out. I have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do tell.
Yes. I'm going with a very old trope, a very overused trope, but it's one that makes sense here. The Coma Theory. This person was actually in a coma and dreamt the whole thing. There you go. Case solved.
So you'd think the lady telling the story would have mentioned, oh yeah, my friend who had been in a coma. I mean, unless she's really, like, she knows she's bullshitting, she probably would have mentioned that part.
Okay, well, what if the one person didn't realize they were in a coma and refused to admit that they were, that this actually happened?
Okay.
And why would they tell the story at all?
Brooke,
unless they want attention.
Brooke, you're reaching way too far now.
Okay, I don't know. All right, fine. Dream theory. This was all a dream. There you go.
That's
Same
better.
concept.
That would be better.
But even then, she'd have to have, like, had the dream be so vivid that she genuinely believes it.
Well, there's the other problem too. Why didn't they do to her what they did to that guy? Wipe her memory and then deposit her somewhere random.
Oh, because, well, I mean, sure, she's dying, but it doesn't sound like she was on the verge.
Yeah.
Like, it sounded like these aliens were just giving her the intro, the tutorial, the sales pitch for what they're doing.
Right.
You mean she could have said no?
Well, maybe she didn't have the option, but they were giving her a briefing, an intro, like it said.
Crypto, that thing you sent me on Discord, wow. Just, yeah. I've seen that type of probe before. Yeah, that's, no. Just no. Output only. Thank you very much.
Okay.
It's a video clip that he found on YouTube.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I think he posted it to the chat earlier too.
I believe so, yes. Let's continue on though and see what else we got here.
For the remainder of this new physical life and continue experiencing and learning. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
And it suddenly explains the doppelganger phenomenon that Bud Hopkins and I and Dave Jacobs and John Mack and a bunch of us talked about, probably starting in...
This is them exercising total control over your soul.
Frank.
All right, total control.
Yes, Squirrel?
I know all of those names, and they're all bullshit artists. They've all been proven to be bullshit artists, and in fact, at least one of them went to jail for fucking fraud. Two others turned themselves into cult leaders.
Yeah, didn't Martimer81 reference the Bud Hopkins and John Mack guys in that
He
series?
most certainly did. He most certainly did. I don't know who this lady is. I don't know her name, and I honestly, at the moment, I don't want to, because it will probably take me less than 5 minutes to come up with a litany of bullshit. A long line of bullshit. But yeah, Marty referred to Bud Hopkins and whatever the fuck that other guy was.
Right.
I recognize all of those names.
Bionic Dance, you had your hand up.
So there was something Dude Boy here said that she agreed with, where he said, like, the soul gets to continue this mortal life and continue learning, but they said that this essence doesn't remember who it is. It gets a memory wipe when it goes into the new body and deposited in freaking Australia, and it's like, okay, so how does it continue learning if its knowledge is all gone?
Yeah, it has to start learning from scratch.
And as an adult, apparently.
Which makes things worse.
Yeah, I mean, like, all of these people that the aliens abduct probably end up in, like, foster care or hospice or, heck, an insane asylum. Who knows?
Or at least a treatment program for amnesiacs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your best possible option.
Brooke, you had your hand up?
Yeah, as far as, like, for, like, doppelgangers and that, if you really think about it, there's only so many facial features and structural features that you can have before you start repeating with 7 billion people. I will almost guarantee that there are other people out there who look like you.
You know, the whole thing where you just got one of those faces.
Well, since I moved to San Diego, I have seen so many people who look like actors or people I knew in Seattle, or one person looked just like my cousin Adam. It's kind of crazy pants how many people, like, for a while I was calling this the city of doppelgangers.
Yeah. And I like, if you look at me, a picture of me and a picture of my grandpa, like, I look almost identical to him. The only difference is the way my eyes look. My eyes are shaped a little differently than his. That's the only difference.
Yeah, being adopted, I don't have that. Well, no, I take that back. I did have someone do a search for my birth mother, and we found both her Facebook page and some articles about her. And there is a slight resemblance there. I can kind of see some mom in my face.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you really think about it, I would be like my grandpa's doppelganger.
Makes me wonder what birth father looks like and how much closer I am to him.
Yeah. Well, let's go over to Chris Kelling, who's got his hand up.
Yeah, I just want to call BS on the editing here. You know, put the guy full screen or something. This is just it's making my brain hurt.
Well, he's obviously doing vertical video. I've seen this before where it fills in a stretched out version of the vertical part and puts it in the background. It's common.
Yeah, but it usually keeps it symmetric by putting it on the other side as well.
It is on the other side. It's just he's got a white shirt on against a white wall.
And he's leaning more to the left.
If you look, there is a dividing line there.
See that.
Yeah.
It's still hurting my brain.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, also the aspect ratio is just throwing me off. I mean.
Yeah.
So let us continue on.
No one is going to heaven. Let that be clear to you about this. Nobody is going to heaven. There's no heaven. We are at their beck and call. We are their slaves to do whatever it is they want us to do. All right. This has nothing to do with your spirituality. Your spirituality is misleading you. You're going to be reincarnated. No matter what.
Yes, Tornado.
So all of a sudden, all religions are a lie except for this one.
I feel like that's every religion, to be honest. I mean, every religion claims to be the right one.
Your spirituality is fooling you, and that you're going to be a slave to these aliens.
Right. Yeah.
So
I mean, I agree and disagree. I like I said, I feel like every religion says that they're the right religion, you know. But yeah.
Especially if you're a Scientologist.
Right. Bionic Dance?
Now, maybe it's just me. I mean, this is speculation, but from the tone of his voice, I'm hearing a certain amount of, now listen here, you ignorant fuckers. You know, like he's talking to a bunch of religious people, I presume Christians or Catholics or whatever, that he knows that he's trying to convince, no, because he says you're going to be reincarnated no matter, like, whether you like it or not, you're getting reincarnated. You know, it sure sounds like, you know, he's trying to talk to people who think there's an afterlife, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just a weird way to. I don't know. It's a weird energy. That's all.
Yeah. Brooke?
Oh yeah, reincarnation. Citation, please.
Yeah. We're not gonna get any of those, I suspect. Alright. Tornado? You still had your hand up?
Sorry.
That's okay. Alright, here we go.
What you think? All right. There's no evidence of anybody going to heaven. All the evidence is of reincarnation. All the facts, from 3 and 4-year-old children to adults. Now, here go the
Drink.
Yes,
Wait,
Brooke?
can we go back a bit? Because he said from and everyone talked to and everyone talked. I couldn't hear what he was saying.
Yeah, I'll rewind it back here and then we'll get to our drink calls.
You're going to be reincarnated, no matter what you think. All right. There's no evidence of anybody going to heaven. All the evidence is of reincarnation. All the facts, from 3 and 4-year-old children to adults. Now, here's the really messed up part. So this is
children to adults.
So let's start with Brooke, I think, was first on that one.
Yeah. Again, citation needed, please. I would like this evidence of reincarnation because, yeah, I haven't seen any.
Yeah. Don't hold your breath.
Oh, I'm not. I would actually like to survive.
Yeah. Tornado.
So all of a sudden, there's no evidence of anyone going to heaven. So basically, you're saying that Christianity is a lie too. Holy crap, boy! You just pissed off every single religion in the world.
Pretty much.
Except the Scientologists.
Yeah, except the Scientologists.
Oh, by the way, Brooke, just so you have this, you said you made it a partially incorrect statement.
Okay.
It's not citation needed. Citation fucking needed. God damn it,
Okay,
dude.
I am.
Give me
Okay.
the hand over the evidence, fool. Just stop talking and hand it over. I will
Yeah.
happily accept anything more substantial than a Wikipedia link.
I am too tired to channel my inner Kraga squirrel.
Yeah.
So it's just citation needed, done, and try not to fall asleep.
Let's go over to Bionic Dance.
Yeah, so he says you're going to be reincarnated, and whether you like it or not, that they reincarnate anyone from small children to adults. Now, he doesn't say like babies. He says small children. Now, I'm assuming that babies are included, that he says everybody is going to be reincarnated, but every other form of reincarnation I've ever heard of, every legend or claim or whatever, is when you're reincarnated, you're reborn. Like there's a baby out there, an infant, just getting conceived or just being born that you are now put into, and that's your new life. But here we have these aliens who are cloning people, including adults, and he calls this reincarnation. Now, I still don't get the adults thing, because that's going to like shake up everybody's world when this new person just shows up. But I mean, like the small children thing I kind of get, but this is just such a strange like mythos of reincarnation. It like why?
Right. Yeah. Brooke, you had your hand up again?
Yeah.
Don't ask me. I have no idea.
At least from how it sounded to me, and it's more to Kate, he said 3 to 4-year-old children to adults, and from the sounds of it earlier, he had mentioned that the stories that they tell, so basically the claims of reincarnation from those people. So I'm assuming it's more just he's basically not saying that the cloning or whatever is the reincarnation, but that reincarnation is real because because of those claims or whatever. At least that's how I'm understanding it.
Well, if it's from the stories they tell, and 3 is the youngest he mentions, well, maybe the other like pre-verbal children were also reincarnated. They just can't tell the story.
Yeah, that's kind of how I think he's meaning it. Then again, I am really tired and trying to make it through this, so.
All right. Well, let us continue on then.
Phrase that was doing this. There's other beings that's doing this. There's other accounts of other beings like the archons and other entities doing this, which supports what Paul Hellyer said, who is the
Yes.
So he's saying that there are now factions of different, I'm assuming species, because the Greys are supposed to be aliens and not spirits, but they're like competing for who gets to reincarnate who? I did what? I'm very confused. Now, another thing about reincarnation that's always a little bit bothered me is that the population keeps growing, which means we need new essences to fill those new bodies, those extra like bodies that fill out the population. Plus, why is it always assumed that when you're reincarnated on your home planet? There are probably billions of inhabitable worlds out in the whole universe, given how many galaxies there are and how many stars in each galaxy. So it seems to me that if you're going to be reincarnated, being reincarnated on another world is a possibility. In fact, maybe that's how the human souls are getting filled out, is that due to, say, genocide or some sort of plague or ecological disaster, a planet is losing a lot of life and those souls have to go somewhere. So, I mean, I don't know. It's like I can make up a lot of lore for this stuff, but I want to hear what they think, like how they think it goes.
Right.
See, here's a fun add-on to that, and I'll raise my hand just because. Given the number of galaxies that exist or are expected to exist, hello James Webb, and the number of stars, number of planets, et cetera, there is a statistical likelihood near to 1 that this very conversation is playing out somewhere else in the universe.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And what I wonder, though, because it did sound like you said there are different factions out there, what do they get out of being the ones who reincarnate something? In fact, what do they get out of reincarnating anybody anyway? You know, I mean, these aliens are doing something. What's their motivation?
Yeah, they're preparing for the mass invasion that will take them another 5,000 years, because this is their way of gathering data and getting people in high places so they can start working on a way to do all the things. You know, let's Klaus Schwab having been replaced by an alien clone, that could be fun.
So they live essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
I gotta watch that movie again.
I was where I was going with the entire reference.
Well, let's go over to Chris has his hand up.
Well, I just wanted to get the spelling correct for that word that Bionic Dance used earlier. How is that Boboa or
what?
is that Boboa? when she first came on for that drink call, she was like Boboa. Just wanted the spelling of that word.
I may have said Bazabawa. Bazabawa. I say that one a fair amount.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I even have a spelling for it. It's B'(ZUBBA')WHAAA. Bazabawa. Is it?
Got it.
Okay. Strikeling, I will be back. I'm going to drop out of the call for a moment, and I will be returning momentarily to keep an eye out for me.
Alrighty,
because you guys have been all kinds of robot, and it's complaining about my internet connection being unstable.
Oh.
I need to reset it.
Well, for what it's worth, you're not roboting.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean you're nice and clear, so.
Well, that would be a good thing. That means that it is most definitely on my end, and I need to, it's
all
my
right,
client, and I need to fix it.
We'll continue on here, and I'm sure you won't miss anything.
Yeah, probably
scientific.
Well, the science is coming. We know that.
Yeah, we keep telling ourselves that.
Right. All right, here we go, guys.
Now deceased was a former defense minister for Canada, who said there were multiple bases on the moon with multiple aliens. So they all are doing this. They all have the ability to reincarnate, and they're taking advantage of it. So here's the thing. People keep asking me, well, why do they want my soul? Our soul is pure energy. Okay? Some of these beings feed off of
Wait,
that. Like, we
drink.
actually feed.
Yes.
What the hell is pure energy? I mean, there's so many different types of energy. It seems like the idea of a pure energy is very subjective. I mean, and given that energy is just matter in another form, I mean, how is it pure? What the concept boggles me. I don't know what it can be.
Well, you have to realize that the concept of pure as it exists as it's considered doesn't actually exist. You can't have pure water. There's going to be something in it. The only question becomes what and how much of what. The least, even for distilled water, the standard is, what is it, 2 or 3 parts per million of some other stuff. That's the best you're going to get.
Well, so I mean, again, that just reinforces my question: is what is pure energy?
What's pure anything is where I was going with that.
Oh well, sure, but I mean, you're like I said, you're just reinforcing my question.
Oh no, I don't. I wasn't questioning that part.
Ah,
Nothing.
Maybe it's spelled. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
now I'm just hearing that song where it's like they got that sample of Mr. Spock going pure energy. You know the one? I wanna know what you
kept
thinking.
thinking-
That one.
I kept thinking that it was spelled P-U-R with the line over the U. So
there's an E involved there.
Isn't that a brand of water?
yes,
It is.
Okay.
It's actually a brand of water filters.
Oh.
That's where it started. They started bottling water here about 15, 20 years back.
Okay.
I remember seeing it on the shelves the first time. Going, what? I didn't ask for water filters.
All right. Well, let us continue on here. Oops. If it goes, what is it doing? There we go.
You know how I was saying, like we're the top species on Earth and we feed off the other animals? Well, now there's beings that's above us who are feeding off of us, our soul. It's not our body they want. I keep telling you this.
Wait,
it's your
drink.
soul. See, they know what to do.
Yes, bionic dance.
Okay. They're reincarnating us and feeding off of our soul. What do they take, like a munch of it and then reincarnate us? How the hell? What? I mean, of all the inconsistencies, this is a biggie.
Oh no! I've actually got the reality for you. Remember V?
Yeah.
They're transferring the souls because those aren't because that's not the tasty part.
Okay.
Never mind that if they can clone us, they can just generate a food source. All they need is a small tissue sample.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's bogglesome. I got the impression they didn't have cloning in V. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done any of what they did.
Didn't. They were just eating humans.
Yeah.
But in this case, if we're going to go with they're eating us, they're preying on us. That means that they have to be eating. They eat the corpses that are left over, diseased and shit as they may be.
But he said they're
But that's
feeding
what
on our.
happens.
Well, dude boy here said they're feeding on our souls, though.
I didn't hear that part.
He said they're feeding on our souls.
Yep.
Did he? Well,
He
damn, that's
did.
dumbassery.
Yeah. I mean that was the part I was objecting to, was like what we're reincarnating and being eaten? How?
Oh, yeah, how does that work? Maybe they're just maybe they're recycling it several times over so we get a whole bunch more tasty.
Or maybe
It's
they're
more
letting
like
us
the cooking
age
process.
like a fine wine or something. Like basically our souls are fermenting.
Yep, like a very good scotch.
Yeah.
All right. Should we continue on? I know that's a terrible question, but let us
How close are
let's
being done with this shit?
not close enough, but let's continue on here.
God damn it.
With the energy because they have they're more highly advanced than us. Okay? If you don't escape the soul trap, you're gonna be stuck here forever.
Drink.
And this is not where you're supposed.
Yes, Tornado.
So they need us for energy when they can just as easily get all the energy they want from a fucking Dyson sphere.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe they don't have the tech to build one, but there is a sun right the heck there. You know, they can get plenty of energy off of that.
He said that there's a soul. He said that if we don't escape the soul trap, we're going to be stuck in it forever. Yet he just said that they feed on us for energy. If energy was their sole reason they were eating us, then they wouldn't need to eat our souls, because there's this thing called a fucking sun that they can just pull energy off of whenever they freaking want to.
Actually, if they want energy, if they really want energy, they need to type O or A star, and then just move on when it starts to expand. Because they're going to get a lot more energy that way than they are trying to leech off us.
Maybe it's a specific kind of energy they need.
Find yourself a nice pulsar. That would work better.
Well, I mean, again, maybe it's like a specific kind of energy that they need. I mean, the way a lot of these stories in sci-fi and fantasy work is like, you know, the soul is a certain kind of energy, and nature is another kind of energy, and death is another kind, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I mean, maybe that's what this guy's trying to say. I don't know.
Right.
Well, again, we're once again dealing in fiction tropes. But,
well, yes.
But you could turn. But if you have enough energy to add, if you have enough energy to add, or a long enough distance, you can convert infrared to ultraviolet back. It's easy.
Well, but it sounds like the kind of energy they want is not something that would like power a starship. It sounds like they eat our souls, which means that it somehow sustains that. It's food for them. It sustains them. Like, so that's why I'm saying maybe they need a certain kind of energy. Maybe the sun's energy is inedible to them or something. I don't know. Like they're solar intolerant. They're photon intolerant. You know.
Well, Squirrel.
I mean, I'm talking out of my ass, and you know I am. But
Right.
I've consumed enough sci-fi to think this up.
Yeah, you and me both, and that's I'm trying to avoid that.
Well,
I'm trying to avoid that. No, I actually enjoy it when you go off on tears like this.
yeah, well, it's part of the fun for me, you know.
Squirrel, you still had your hand up?
If you have a type of energy, you can usually convert it to something else. Unless, of course, you require a specific impulse, and then, yeah, energy density becomes an issue.
Well, I'm going to take lightning and convert it into a pastrami sandwich.
There you go.
All right. Well, let us continue on here.
I like pastrami.
Supposed to be. After you die, you're supposed to return to the source of your creator.
Oh.
Not keep reincarnating back. We are being held hostage. This is a prison.
Okay.
Whoops. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, define creator in this context. He's still yammering, just quietly.
No, I had gone back, so I had to go forward again to where we were.
Well, yeah, define creator in this context. You're supposed to go back to your creator. What are you talking about? What creator are we talking about, and where can we find it? Because, frankly, I think it needs to be stabbed in the face.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming he's talking about.
Don't let me get anywhere near this.
Like,
we'll string his entrails through the trees like Christmas decorations.
I'm assuming that the creator he's talking about is the Abrahamic God. I mean, it's the most likely thing he's trying to say, I think. But when he says we're supposed to go back to our creator, I mean, again, if he's not talking about the Abrahamic God, maybe there's some sort of like gestalt entity out there that he's picturing. But if it is God, I guess he means you go to heaven or something. But I'll be honest, I kind of like being alive. I kind of like this world. And so, I mean, I like the idea of being trapped on this earth. I'm perfectly okay with it. I mean, if this is the alternative to heaven instead of like eternal agony, gimme, gimme, gimme.
Right.
Well, I mean, I like this world too, because this is where I have all my stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
Again,
Squirrel, you
again,
still had your hand up?
That was a conversation.
No, my hand is up.
Yeah, and okay, we're good now. I just want to make sure we got everybody's hands.
Of or so, and that's not your God of the Bible. All right.
See,
it's not Jesus. Now, I'm gonna talk more about Jesus because I really found out some more interesting stuff about Jesus. All right. He's not a god or nothing
Jesus
like that.
was
Is
an
he
alien.
Yes. Yes, he was. All right.
Gotcha.
Everybody seems to know that.
Space
But
Jews!
I got some really good information about him. So stay tuned. Get the Soul Trap session. If you don't, you doomed.
Honey, do you see a light? Tell us to go to the light. No!
He's selling shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was terrible animation.
Yeah. Well, yes, it is, and I mean
Wait,
the whole video was
wait.
terrible animation. So.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
I'm looking at this ad here. A 3-hour Soul Trap pre-recorded session of what? I mean, is it a way to escape the Soul Trap? Is that what it is? But then you need sessions. I mean, now I'm picturing Scientology. I'm so confused.
I think they are too.
There's no confusion here. He's a godfather who thinks there's a soul trap, and therefore he's going to spend 3 hours talking to you all about it. And the lady at the front that took up the bulk of this video was a red herring,
right?
In its entirety.
Yeah, pretty much.
He grabbed an interview video out of fucking nowhere, and from the looks of the film quality, probably the 1970s. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, and you notice he said DM for rates.
To buy the 3-hour session.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy it. Probably anywhere from 500 to 5,000.
Right.
Depends on how many of the rest of his sessions you've undergone, because only the first hit's free.
Yeah.
Right.
Alrighty. Well, everybody.
You might actually be able to get some people going with that up front, but you've done ruined it, dude.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, everybody, we are going to wrap it up here for the night. I do want to thank you all coming out. We will get to those other lovely videos on our wheel next week.
I just want to thank everybody for putting up with the crap that we gave them tonight.
Yeah. It was, those were interesting videos, to say the least, so.
Yeah.
Jinzu says, kicking us out? Yes, I'm kicking everybody out.
Kate, if you want to catch me on Discord, the fastest way is to actually find one of my videos and grab the Discord link down there.
There you go.
Yeah, I kinds of never use Discord, but thank you.
It's
That's the fastest way.
It's like the song, you know, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So we're
you can also look up Lord Crocus Gorilla. You might actually find me.
Okay.
We have to talk.
Alrighty. Well, everybody, have a good rest of your night. Thank you so much, everybody in the live chat, for coming out. And with that, say good night, panel.
Good night, panel.
Catch you later, Buster.
Bye, Buster.